Yeah, I mean, I really appreciated the honesty from the coaches when I spoke to them about where they saw where the club is at and how they want to move that forward. They've got a clear path and mindset of how they want to do that, which is for me great that they were that honest with me and how they wanted to move forward and being so open was really encouraging for me and how I can fit in and how I can help. Um, Obviously, having some experience around such from what I've experienced in the past 2 days, a good young group of lads, and there's experience mixed in there as too. But I think just getting the combination right and getting the best out of people will be definitely the go going forward.
You have worked with Jonathan Thomas before, as you mentioned, specifically, I think, with the Barbarians. How do you see him as a coach?
I think a lot of it is, especially these days with the millennials, as we'll call them, and a lot of this coaching and plays is all relationship based. And I think JT is definitely someone who I've come across who's got a very good feel for that and a feel for players and how they're feeling and how the whole team is. And also keeping in touch with the players on one to one. And it was pretty clear to me that he's been in some good environments himself and he's picked it all up. He's a very good young coach. So he's very in touch with that side of the game.
It's interesting you mentioned the relationship-based aspect of coaching now. Have you seen that change over your career considerably?
Yes, definitely. I think, especially with this younger generation, I think my generation was more you do what you get told to do and you go through it. If you think it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. You do it and then you figure it out week to week. Now it's more combined. It's more players and coaches together. How people are how people want to approach it and how you get the best out of people. I think we've probably days gone by you've missed a lot of people's X factors and talents because you've not necessarily had the right coaches with you and getting the best out of those players. So I think coaches now have to have a feel for that and have to have a relationship with the players. Otherwise, you're not going to get the benefit when the players are on the pitch.
Part of your role, as we understand it, is also going to be mentoring the younger players, obviously the ones coming through.
Hmm.
Is that an aspect that excites you?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously now I've got quite a bit of experience in different environments and different clubs and playing with an awful lot of world class players. So and under world class coaches. So I'd like to think I've got a lot to offer, and any way I can help them and that they want help, I'd like to think I can contribute to that.
You're contracted until the end of next season. If we throw ahead, ask you to crystal ball gaze a little bit, we'll get to the end of next season. How would you judge it as being a success, your move to Worcester? Where would you like to see the club being at that point?
I'd like to see the club in the top half of the table. Everything's in place here. I mean, I've been here 2 days and I can see that straight away. The structure and the club is here to get to the top half of the table. It's just getting that changeover from where the club's been for so long at the bottom half and teams almost come in here to play and see them as that bottom half of the table. We've seen previously other teams have been able to do it and change that mindset. It takes time, but as long as you buy in and you all want to achieve that and start to move up, it's possible. I mean, look at Exeter; they've just won the double from where they came from where they are now is worlds apart. So it is definitely doable.
Thank you very much for your time. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Chris, I lost the signal briefly then, so you may have answered this question, but the motivation must be there surely personally to break some of those Premiership try scoring records as well.
Always, yeah. I'm I'm trying to focus a little bit more on the club here and how I can help and develop other people. But obviously, without doubt, that comes top of the agenda. I have a job to do playing too, and I want to make sure I definitely can do that and offer how I know I can play into this team. And I have no doubt that that's what's going to happen. I would love to break the record. I feel like I'm 40 tries away at the minute, not four. So I'm really just a bit conscious that that's being talk, said quite a lot to me, and I don't really want it to. I want it to just be there when I'm past it and I can crack on. But yeah, at the minute, that's how I feel.
And were you agitating for a move away at Harlequins because you weren't getting enough playing time? How did the move to Worcester come about?
Yeah, I probably wasn't able to contribute as much as I'd hoped, and like I've said, probably with the relationships didn't probably connect as much. I think I went in there at a strange time for everyone with COVID, and sometimes personalities don't match and faces don't fit. Yeah, I'd like to have helped more and had more of a contribution, but I think from my side, I had to just face up to it, and so did the hierarchy, if you will, or the people who are in charge at Quins had similar sort of views to me, and were like, look, maybe it hasn't worked, and it might be beneficial for you to move on to Worcester, and I was in agreement with that. For some reason, I think it does happen to a lot of players, but you probably don't notice as much as me, because if I'm not playing and stuff and don't feel like I contribute in the way that I want to, I'm more than happy to try and find that opportunity elsewhere. I think as some other players might not necessarily be in that mindset, they'll stick with it and probably not play till the summer. I'm not really that way. I've only got a short period of time left in my career, and I need to take advantage of that. So I didn't want to miss the next 6 months of that playing time when I can be helping elsewhere.
Finally, from me, you're fit, ready and raring to be able to play on Saturday?
Yes, the only precaution that we have is obviously the change of surface, and me not being. I played on it at Saracens for many years, but we train on it a lot. So just me adjusting to that, being in the winter of my career, we need to be careful a little bit of that and not push it too much. So we'll see. We're gonna train. We've not been able to train on it today for the snow, so we'll get on it and I'll see how I feel. And yeah, I am ready to go. I'm fit, and I want to get involved as soon as I can.
Chris, hi, it's Chris Jones.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, has your confidence been affected at all by treading water at Quins? Because you're a guy who needs the ball in his hands. You need to be out there doing stuff.
It hasn't, Chris. No. It hasn't. I think wherever I've been, I've managed to find players and pretty quickly click with players who I know are in positions who I will benefit from and find the ball. And just weirdly, I never found myself in that situation. Harlequins, they're obviously a really developing stage too, with young 10 and a very young back line. So I never managed to probably a bit of training time and consistency playing too. And I think when you lose games, it creates a different mindset and a different way of playing. But yeah, it was a strange one for me. I've never been able to not connect in 16 years of playing. I've always, I'm still 2 in 1 try in every 2 games, and I want to stick to that. So I need to make sure my stats stay like that.
So was it a surprise then when you heard that Guzzi left?
Yeah, I mean, Guzzi's a great guy. I've known him for a long time. He had a very different role there at Saracens, at Harlequins from before when I knew him at Saracens. So he had a little bit of a different mindset on it. And like I mentioned with the playing style, when you lose games and you're almost expecting to win these games, it can knock you off task a little bit, and pressure and losing and trying to find a way to win, and a young environment can be difficult, and it's something that not a direction that they wanted to go at Quins, that Laurie, the CEO, said too. So it's sad to see him go, because I did think when he first went in he was the right man for the job, but Quins want to go in a different direction, and Paul Guzzi's a very, very good coach, and he's not going to struggle, as we've seen. He's already off to Treviso.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
My name's Mark. I'm from the Worcester News. You might see me a little bit going forward. How are you? Okay?
Yes, good, thank you.
I think we've touched on the kind of coaching, kind of mentoring element that you might have at Worcester. Obviously, being a winger yourself, have you had any kind of discussions as to maybe what the wingers need to do more or less of potentially? Or is there some like focuses there for you?
I mean, I've only been here so there's a lot coming my way at the minute. There's a lot of information I've just got to take in and get used to, a new environment and everything. I think it would be too much for me to start analysing, saying you need to do this, you need to do that so quickly. It'd be good to be here when we've played a game this weekend and seen how that goes. I think with the new coaches coming in too, everyone's got a starting point of this weekend. And just from speaking to the lads, there's a bit of a shift in mindset. I think it's been great here from what I've been told, having these 2 weeks break to prepare and train. So yeah, I'll take my time and taking it all in, and I'll definitely over the next few weeks be looking at where I can help people improve.
Kind of, what have you made of Warriors in the last kind of 18 months or so? What's your kind of take been on how they're trying to mould themselves in terms of like a way of playing?
I think the main thing in this league is just being consistent and being able to consistently perform at a level that is going to get you win badly. I think the teams that are at the top half of the table can win games badly. Everyone can have their day and win well, but it's being able to have that ability and confidence as a team. Where you're at the bottom half of the table, it's almost like, oh, we've been at this point before, and we normally lose from here. To change that mindset and make it as though those are the days that you're going to start winning and turn it around. And once you start picking up a few of those, it's amazing how the confidence in the team, when you're in that situation, can change. I don't think it's much. I think their attack is, they create a lot of opportunities. It's just a matter of finishing them, and hopefully I can definitely contribute towards that.
And just finally from me, obviously Warriors have lost Nanai to injury. Are you potentially looking at maybe also playing a bit of 15 as well as wing? Has that been discussed before?
I'm happy to play either. It's not been discussed yet. As I said, I'm just a bit conscious of me taking a lot in. So it was discussed before I came. Like I said, I'm happy at both to do both. However, the coaches see I can fit in best on the weekend. Yeah, I don't mind at all.
Anyone else?
Hi, Owen here.
Aye.
You mentioned that try-scoring record beforehand. How genuine do you think it is? How seriously do you take it, or is it just something out there to aim at to keep you sharp, I guess, and keep you determined?
It's never really something that you aim for. I think if you play the game long enough, you'll eventually get there at some point, being in my position. I think I'm just getting to that stage. I've been very fortunate to play in some great teams over the years, which always helps. So now I'm close to it. I think the actual main goal was just to beat Mark Cueto. That's all I was bothered about doing, was just getting past him. And that's still the focus for me, really. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it. Obviously, it's there, and when you're that close, it would nice to get past Cueto. But I would take winning out any day over getting that kind of record. But generally, when you win, I managed to get a try, so hopefully they both can go hand in hand.
Do you have any other particular target or ambition in your time at Worcester?
Right now, I would just like to see. Like I said, I think all the ingredients are here. The club's just found itself in that part of the table for so long. I don't think there's an awful lot of clubs at the moment in the Premiership going for a very similar situation, a very similar stage of having to bring a lot younger talent through and progress people and players in very different ways from what had been done before. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to be able to contribute and help us move up that table.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Joe Harvey. Just one question, really. Does it kind of reinvigorate you in a sense, being part of a project again, like when you joined Northampton or even Saracens to an extent?
Yeah, at Northampton, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I had Carlos Spencer and Bruce Rayana was so good for me when I was at Northampton. if I could be 10% of what Bruce was to me to any of these younger lads, then I think I'd done my job. So yeah, it's probably very good. They were coming. We went from the Championship up into back up into the Premiership. So yeah, there can be similarities from that, definitely. And like I said, if I can play any kind of role in doing similar for what those leadership and elder players did at Northampton when I was there, then yeah, that worked well for me.
Any more for everyone?
Chris, Liam here on Rugby Pass. Is it true that you were commuting down to Guildford every day from Northampton while you were athletes? It's been a heck of a toll on you.
No, I was actually staying down. Yes, I stayed down during the week for training days.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just wondering, like the whole past year, given you did suddenly move from Manchester to London.
Yeah.
Now you're heading to Worcester. I'm just wondering how difficult has that all been? I mean, to be making these sudden moves.
Yeah, very.
Just settle down and play your best rugby, basically.
Yes, yeah, it has been a difficult one. It's probably the side of rugby that you don't really talk about too much, to be honest. Especially when you're moving, not people generally aren't too much like me and don't move that much, so it's fine. But from me moving down from having come back from France and very much settle in the northwest, for that not to work out, and me to move to Guildford in a very strange time for everybody. We just didn't have that interaction down in Guildford, so it was we took the decision based on having my family and then being settled to find a base for us up in the just outside Northampton. Having not really enjoyed being in Guildford just because of the social aspect of it. So yeah, there we are. That's the situation where we are now. We're up in Northampton at the moment, and so I'm commuting across, which I'll stay down to here. But who's to say we won't be on the move again towards Worcester.
Yes. So the vibe, what was the initial vibe you got from Worcester that convinced you, yes, this is the next best move for my family?
They're pretty open at the minute. It's all pretty new to us all, so we'll see. I'll run that past my wife when I get home tonight. We moved house about 3-4 months ago, so yeah, we'll see what she says to that. It might be best that I just stay down on my own for the first few months.
Question, does she know you enjoy Worcester?
She's yeah, she thinks they all just blend into one now, I think.
Okay.
Chris, just a quick one. Do you still get the same buzz when you score a try and there's no crowd there? I mean,
No. I have really struggled with that. I've not shied away from that at all. It's probably why it's a good thing being here, being able to focus my energy into other things, as opposed to me wanting to be out there and scoring and being in front of a crowd. I have definitely struggled with not having that interaction. It's definitely part of a big reason why I play the game and want to be out there on a weekend playing for a team in front of fans. So I'm slowly getting used to it, but I hope I don't have to get used to it for too much longer.